have your mood page going portrait, everything should be portrait. You understand me? If you have your mood page going landscape, everything should be landscape. Why? Because when you look at someone's portfolio link, it looks messy when it's like one page this one, the other page another direction. Try to keep it consistent. It needs to be a really good reason why you change directions, okay? Okay, so we're gonna start the same way that we started the mood page, which was we go to new file, we go to print. The good news about Photoshop is this is the only thing that you have really worked on. It will give you this, it will default to the same settings as before, okay? A reminder, I only use letter size 8.5 by 11, 300 pixel by inch. Make sure it's inches because sometimes when you put centimeters, it's confusing. So then we go RGB color, white, and that's it. And you put create. Same thing. Now we're gonna save as. A reminder, if you cannot save to your iCloud, you save to your computer that you have right now and then email it to yourself. Okay, so this will be Crystal homework 2, which is customer profile. So same thing. We are gonna look for a customer profile. Now, did you notice that in every custom profile that I show you before class, usually it had maybe a spot that they love, like either their house, a car, an item that they care about, somewhere along the lines that shows what they want to put their money into. You understand? For example, I think my girl will like vintage vinyl records. Maybe a store. That's where she spends most of her time in. Correct? A reminder, if you cannot drag the pictures in, if you're not in a Mac, you have to save it, and please look at my other video before this, okay? You just place it here. Make sure you notice that the image that I have, it has no link or is embedded. It's fully its own image, so I can decide to do whatever I want to do with it. Okay, so this is that. I think she's obsessed with the movie Power Records. I don't know if you've ever seen it. You should watch it if you're really into movies. Power Records movie. I mean, into music. Actually, it's not Power Records. Hold on. It's Tower Records. Sorry. Tower Records movie. Doesn't it look familiar? Oh, I don't think you guys know them. You know most of them people, right? Have you ever seen it? You should watch it if you've never seen it. So maybe we want to do it like a DVD. She's obsessed with music. Mine is a music person. So maybe we can look for, maybe VHS. VHS. Did anyone watch real VCR stuff? No? Yeah? Not too old? Okay. I mean, too young? I have. With the experience good? All right, so maybe they don't have it. Record store is fine. So if they don't have that, we're just gonna use Empire Records, like a picture here. So that's, what's her name? That's what she likes to do. That's like what she likes to watch. Perfect. You can put that there. I'm decided to be nostalgic. I'm gonna put Blockbuster Video. When I got my Blockbuster Video at 11 years old, was the highlight of my life. I'm not kidding. So then we can look for a better image. I'm just showing what she likes to do. Correct? And you can see the nostalgia of it. She is really into vintage. Easily, you can look at it as like, oh, she's into vintage. She's most likely into 90s vintage. That's what I'm trying to build. I'm just building the images that I think, like, what does she love to do? Where does she like to go? What does she like to see? If that's the case, maybe, I don't know what car will look. If is she really driving a car or a bicycle? What do you think? More right? Exactly. So perfect. Vintage bicycle. Thank you. That's her mode of transportation. Yeah, 8.5 by 11, letter size. Yeah. So then I am thinking this. This is cute. This is what she likes to do. And like you notice that I move really quickly from the bottom of my layer to the top of my layer. There's a hotkey to it. It's Shift Command brackets. So open brackets goes all the way to the front. Close brackets goes all the way to the back. Okay. So that being said, done. She is looking like she is definitely going vintage shopping. And maybe I put this here. I might take this one out. Not sure. So we're just adding images and then we're always going to edit. Then the other part too is I need like an image of her doing things. It's better to put something not so descriptive with the face or maybe just like a side view or back view. So if she likes vintage vinyl, she loves France all day. She loves her good latte, correct? You're telling the story. So how about lady drinking latte in France? I'm not kidding, in France. I knew it. Plenty of images. And then back view. There's everything on the internet. Yeah, I can see her liking all of my things, like all the grungy stuff. Okay, cool. Actually, this one. Perfect. You see that difference now? Kind of looking vintagey. I think, unfortunately, my Blockbuster video, though, is looking really out of place now. Goodbye. So if that's the case, maybe what we do is we make this bigger, correct? And we make that bigger. Now, let's take that out. Maybe, oh, goodbye, video, even though I liked you. It's a good movie, though. So then we move that here. But something's weird about this one. You see how these two images on top have this kind of tinge to it? If you have images and you feel like they're not in the same color story, you can change it. But if you click the layer, you go to image, you go to adjustments, and you go to hue and saturation. You can change it, you see that? All at once. And you can play with the saturation. So the saturation automatically, making it less bright, is making it look more vintage, correct? That's how you can do it. Change it slightly, and that's all you need. Now, if you really just want to change more than the brightness of things and just the hues, you go to levels. You go to image again, you go to adjustments, you go to levels. Right here, you're gonna notice, look at the difference. I can go, and it's just based on the picture, it's not based on the colors present on the picture. Levels is more about taking your colors that you have there and making either super optimizing the black within the picture or making it brighter by increasing the white. Once you get more used to it, you can play even more with color that way. So let's just put it, this is RGB, so maybe I want more green tinge. I click on the green channel, And look, automatically, I can add more green. This is what they also use for photos as well. But let's do red. Ah, there it is. The red. But maybe a little green. And then you just go back and forth. Look at that. Out of nowhere, she's vintagey now. Done. I'm pretty okay with these images. She's not bad. Very to the point. Correct? I don't necessarily think she needs to do anything else in that. Let's just say your images are not making the straight, neat line. Correct? What you do is, let's just say you want this to be lined up in the bottom. Let's do it together. If you click both layers together, these two, select both, you go automatically, look at here. Has anyone used like PowerPoint, sorry, not PowerPoint, slides? Or has anyone used Google Slides or anything like that? And you can distribute and line up things the same way here in Photoshop. If you click more than one image, you can actually distribute it. You see that? Not straight. And then you just move them together up, and that's it. Someone had a Getty image in their mood page, correct? Somebody had a Getty image. Yes, no? Someone, oh, Eris, you had it. Okay, so you see how my image has that little liquid stamp thing, the watermark? There's a way to get that out. You click on that layer that you need. You select the watermark. By the way, if the watermark is all over the picture, it's super hard to take out. But if it's just one corner or like a little stripe, you can just select it. Before this class, I show you content aware, fill aware, correct? So what you can do is, same thing, you go to fill, content aware. Bye. That was it. Yeah, you have to select the layer, then select the section and go to edit, fill, exactly. So you see where this is going. You can take out your watermarks. Now, I tell you, usually I will not tell you to always use watermarks because usually it's copyright infringement, so you have to be very careful where you're taking your images from. Now, if you're taking for very specific websites, and let's just say, since you're students and this is for student only, it's not that bad, correct? But let's just say you're doing this for a big presentation at work, not a good idea. Because you don't know who's gonna look at it and who's gonna present it. So that's the company's fault, not your fault. Does that make sense? Individually, if you're a student, usually you're able to use some images because you're a student. You're not using it for profit. But if someone's using it for profit, that's different. Okay? Okay. So that's one thing. So it's done. I decided that it was going to be only 3 images, even though I started with 5. It just looks more put together. And I think what I'm going to do is, oh, you know what? I'm also thinking, I kind of like her all the way to the side, but this looks empty. So what do I do there? Same thing that I show you guys. Make sure the layer is there. Click what I need. Correct? Go to edit. Go to fill. Content aware. Done. That's what I meant. That's why I try to introduce you to those things, because sometimes you don't want to make the picture bigger. You want to just stand everything, correct? But are you going to be there doing the clone stamp tool or trying to draw it out? It takes too long. Adobe has introduced more AI in the past 3 years. You should be trying to use those tools to help you do things quickly. And because sometimes it's hard to find an image that's really good for your profile, but you can always manipulate it to fit it. You understand? By adding things like I just did. Super simple. It did not even take me 5 seconds. Okay. So now we're going to play with the text. Because this is just a review of the same tools that we did for the mood page. Correct? We haven't, We did marquee tool, we did the fill content aware tool, same thing. The only difference that I showed you today was changing colors. Very simple changing colors, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is text. So if you press T or T for text right here, automatically it will show us text. Anywhere you click, it's gonna start. That's just a preview. So what we're gonna do is customer profile. And don't worry, we're gonna change the color. The bar usually automatically goes here. You can change it. She is H. I think my customer is around 22 to 35 at most. Maybe even younger, but I don't know. Salary, 65K. Yeah, 65K. Occupation, entertainer. Okay, so you noticed on the same way, on the side of the layers, you can see that the text, it's its own layer now. You see that? Right here. The good news is that you can, once you click out, you can make it bigger, smaller, whatever you need to do. I'm making it smaller. Now, there's no pizzazz with this type of font. How do you go back? So if you decide to move it, you have to go back to V, as in select tool, which everyone has been familiarized right now with select tool. If you want to go back inside the text, you need to click T and click until you see how it's highlighted. You see how it changed to those lines? Then you can write again. Maybe I just don't want to say 35. Maybe I want to say 33. 33 years old. Well, for now it's 35 is fine. And then you can get out of the text side of things when you click on another tool automatically. But I'm going to show you another thing. If you highlight the entire thing and you go right here on top, you see how it gives me it tells me what font I'm using? It's the same way that you will do, the same principle if you're using Word. If you highlight everything, you click on it, like if you highlight it and you press up and down with your arrows, you see I'm changing. Same way that you will do Word, like they will give you a preview. Now this is where it gets a little more, everyone's connected to the cloud, correct? I decided I don't like any of these fonts. Don't like them. What happens then? How do I get fonts here? The fonts that you see in your computer might not be the same fonts that you can find. So you can activate more fonts with Adobe. So, hold on a second. Is it here? If you click on the little cloud icon, it should show you which fonts are from Adobe, and it will automatically try to install it for you, okay? So right now, I think PostScript is fine. This one, I don't like it. So believe it or not, the things that are gonna take you the longest trying to figure out the font, because you can see from here, this is not the right font, the one that I have right now. Ugh. And mine is not for my customer. She is more vintagey, but I don't think it's it can be too script, somewhere in between. Let's see. Oh, actually I like that one, but it's too thin. The other part too about the font too is make sure that it's readable. Oh, I don't hate this one. It's okay. The last step, Right now, you can read it, but it's not really noticeable. What happens then? You can double click your layers, guys. If you double click your layer, it gives you a whole bunch of options how to blend it. And you can do drop shadow, not multiply, normal, out. And look, I can play with the shadow. Spread by, let's make it 30%. There you go. You see the difference? Now it's brighter. Look at the effects. Goodbye. Yes, with a drop shadow, without the shadow. And that's it. I'm done. I'm done with my customer profile. Okay?